Carolyn McCardle, public address announcer for your San Francisco Giants, and you're listening to Forever SF Giants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first annual Labor Day special. I'm Schmitty along with my partner, Christian, and today we're talking baseball, Giants by the Bay, and where they stand now going into Colorado after winning 3 series in a row and becoming just 5 games out of the wild card with 25 games to go. That means if they gain 1 game every 5 games, then they're in. So do you believe? Are you a believer? Or you want to bring the hate? Everybody's welcome. Join the discussion. Christian, what do you think?
Right now, I'm on the flip of a coin. It's either going to be the dog days or the dude days of September, right? And it's been the dude days for about a week now. So look, Rafael Devers not being 100% and hitting a home run almost every single game. Come on now. Senior says, if you aren't, you need to start believing. Hell yeah, believe. And don't be one of those people that didn't believe all year and now you're going to believe right now because it's like, that don't wash.
You know what I want to hear is tomorrow I want to hear Dale, him and Brian Murphy here. I'm actually thinking that I might go to a game now, guys. I think the Giants might actually be in the hunt. Everything I said the last 6 months, Rory the Geek told me that I was wrong last night. My son in the back seat of the car as I was driving through Marin. Bah.
Yeah, well, his son's team will be out of the running soon enough, and that'll open his schedule up to take in some baseball other than Marin County Little League, right? But the Giants been on a little bit of a hot one. Some switch got flipped because all of a sudden they're getting production up and down the lineup. It's not 8 guys slumping and 1 guy doing it all, and that's encouraging. You know, if not encouraging for a run right now, definitely encouraging for next year. Because you can see what these guys are when they're on, and not everybody's healthy, and they're still getting it done the last several games. So, got to just keep plugging away, and hopefully Wu-Tang doesn't blow it in Colorado today.
Highway to hell, dude! It's gonna be pitching it's a flip flop. We started. Look, I went to 2 of the 3 games in against the Orioles, and what was it, 13 runs yesterday, and Friday was like maybe 17. I don't know. It was a lot, double digit both games, and the pitching is starting to kind of wear a little bit. But man, tip your hat to JV Justin Verlander, who threw 5 innings yesterday, struck out 10, and got another win at Oracle Park. The guy's definitely got the monkey off his back. But what I want to add to that is who thought at the beginning of the year, all the Verlander haters, right? There's no way he's going to pitch all year. The guy threw over 100 pitches yesterday in the last game of August. Tell me somebody thought that was going to happen. So he might not have got the W's, but the guy's pitched pretty commendable. He should have got more wins, and the guy's still pitching. He broke down a little early, but he was back, and now he's going. So, I mean, if the Giants were to make the postseason, you definitely want this guy on the bench as, either a reliever or a last starter or something, because his experience is, so Babe Rock.
He threw over 120 pitches yesterday.
Yeah.
Over 120 in the heat, that was one of the grittier pitching performances I've seen in a long time. It wasn't pretty, but it worked, and he got the win. And by my math, Verlander should have at least 8 or 9 wins at this point in the season. It's not his fault. There were games where he pitched excellent and got no backing and no defense. And, people want to shit on the guy. He's 42 years old, but that game yesterday should pretty much put the nail in the coffin of anybody who's sitting there going, oh, he sucks and he's washed up and he's done. And the Giants never should have signed him. I mean, there's a lot of talk about bringing him back next year. I don't know how I feel about that. You might be able to come up with a younger, fresher, competitive arm for less money than that. But I don't know if he'll play for the same or less money. Why not? Because you're not really sure what you've got beyond Ray, Roop, and Webb. Wisenhunt, we haven't seen enough to know. We don't know. Birdsong apparently has been getting torched in AAA, and he just hasn't found it. So that's the reason he hasn't been back up. And, Keaton Wynn, I like Keaton Wynn, but he's still coming back from surgery. So we're not going to get to see a lot of him before the end of the year. And next year, hopefully, maybe he's ready. Beck's not it. So Verlander wouldn't be a bad choice if they're going out looking out for something else. They're trying to bring Adley Rutschman in. They're trying to bring in another huge bat, another kind of marquee type player to the organization. Verlander wouldn't be a bad sign. Obviously that depends on what his health stays like for the rest of the season and what he's going to do. Maybe he retires. We don't know. He's real quiet about stuff like that, and I like it. I don't want him to be telegraphing what his next move is. Right?
Yeah, I think Babe Rocks wants to sign another flyer on Verlander. I can bet all the money in my left pocket that he's not going to retire. I'm pretty confident in that. Whether he comes back to San Francisco, I don't know if either side really wants that. I think Verlander probably wants out of here to get to a team that's going to score more runs. The reason he's playing still is to get wins, and it's been a tough year for him in that regard, but anything's possible. Cole Dunstan says, our bullpen should be the biggest need in the off season. Losing Rogers, Doval, and Rodriguez is a huge blow. I need a bona fide closer for at least next year. And I would say to that, nope.
Yeah, look.
Our biggest need next year is a catcher that can hit. I'm going to promise you that.
I would agree with you. I mean, look, Doval, everything went south after the trade. And it was kind of looking like it might before that. He started out the year really good. Randy Rodriguez, that's the biggest loss, really. Rogers, like you've been predicting, he might be back next year as a free agent. And look, we got Peguero in there now, and Ryan Walker seems to have sort of found it. And they can kind of plug and play the other pieces. Lucchesi has been pretty good. He had 1 and maybe 2 kind of rough outings, but he's been solid. Nobody misses Eric Miller, right?
Did someone say Peguero?
Yeah, Peguero is the shit. What else? I mean, if you got Keaton Wynn who can come in, I don't want to see Bivens. He coughed up the shutty yesterday. That was terrible. It was just a bad look. Just nail it down, dude. They're gonna win the game, but just shut them out. There's a big difference between winning a game and getting a shutout against another team. I think the vibe is totally different. When you shut another team out, that means top to bottom, everybody did their job. So I hate seeing a guy come in and cough up a couple of runs towards the end. It's no good. But yeah, the bullpen's gonna be okay, I think.
Well, the bullpen's definitely going to get addressed. They're going to come back with a little different look. I think the starting rotation will have a new arm or two also, but clearly this Bailey situation is in dire. It's just like, what happened? What's going on with this guy? And I just don't really want to see next year being like, oh, he got it all figured out. He conditioned. He ate differently. He's going to be a different player. I'm kind of tired of like the gamble for a change. I want to see a change that isn't a gamble. I want to bring in somebody that's like, this is a bona fide hitter. He's going to hit. There's no maybe or any of that stuff. Same thing with pitching. It's like, I just want a guy. I mean, I would love to see Framber show up here in a Giants uniform next year or somebody like that, where it's like, you got a solid, I mean, this is just assuming Robbie Ray is going to be back, which we don't know. But let's say Robbie Ray's back. We just need a number 3 arm. And then we got 4 and 5 for all the mixture of whether it's Root, Birdsong, Win, Wizenhunt, like, all these arms that we have. And we'll see what happens from there. But I do feel like there's no reason not to trust Buster Posey at this stage of his career as a POBO, because I think that he's done some pretty cool things. And I think the steps are going in the right direction. And this is just him like putting his shoes on, like, let's see next year when he's like fully in the water and he's got a little experience and he's seen the squad. He's at the games every day, by the way. He's not phoning it in. He's out there. Yesterday he was on the field doing the cancer stuff, signed for all the kids on a ball. Those guys all go out to a position and they get a player. And the joy of all these like cancer kids and stuff, it's really cool what he's doing. But he's nailing it right now. So all the doubters, like, it's like, I get the problem. The problem is we've had this dry run for a while. So people are they don't have patience anymore. But you have to just understand that this is a new regime and we do have to be a little patient. You can't combine this with the last few years. So let's see. And the minor leagues, I believe that our farm has grown a lot. I'm seeing bombs from Bryce Eldridge. Luciano hit one like 509 yesterday, apparently. Bo Davison in AA is just on a rampage. He'll be in sack soon. The San Jose Sharks won their division. The Sacramento River Cats won their division. Maybe none of that matters, but like, why not? Like, it's like, it's good. Like, Sacramento's stoked. They got wins under the belts when they go out and watch their team, like, if nothing else. So the call-ups happened today. Grant McCray is back and JT Brubaker is up, pitcher that we got. I think it was in the Yankees deal with Duvall, maybe. So Kai Tang took the place of Wizenhunt, who's had a bad back apparently. So he's on the IL. So we got Wizenhunt and Roop on the IL. Keaton Wynn is available, but I don't know if he's in starting shape. I think he's going to be more of a bullpen guy. And it's going to be some mix and matching going on, especially when it's not Webb, Ray, or Verlander. So we're going to have probably 2 games out of the 5 that might be not ideal.
Yeah. So let's do a little game break real quick. Your boy Drew Gilbert just hit a 2-run bomb. Giants are up 3-0.
Welcome to Colorado, Drew.
Yeah, exactly. And then Elliot Ramos promptly hits a single and tries to stretch it into a double and gets thrown out. So anyways, Giants are up 3-0. So I got a couple thoughts. First of all, the Patrick Bailey issue. It's not a fitness problem with Patrick Bailey. I think he's in much better shape this year than he was last year. I just think he can't hit. Something is just broken with his hitting. We've talked about the switch hitting thing ad nauseum, but I do think if you can go out and find a catcher who's got comparable defense skills but can hit, you got to go with that. Secondly, Roop is going to be the number 3 guy next year. Everything that he's shown in his development this year gives me no reason to think otherwise. You're looking at Webb, Ray Roop, right? Righty, lefty, righty. 4 and 5, plug and play, right? So I kind of feel like that's going to be the top 3 are already resolved and set for next year. But I'm trying to think a little bit more about the stretch here rather than next year, because we know what next year is going to be even better than this year. Let's see what they can do right now. You know, going into Colorado at this point in the season could be the best thing for the Giants' chances, right?
I mean, our schedule is the Rockies for 3 right now, and then the Rockies for 3 the last 3 of the year. And I've been kind of joking about it for the last few weeks, but wouldn't it be something if the Giants are at home against the Rockies and it really matters? Like, how fun are those last 3 games going to be if we're like 1 game out going into a 3-game series? I haven't really looked to see who the Mets are playing and who the Reds are playing, but I'm guessing that whoever they're playing is someone better than the Rockies.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's going to be fun regardless. I just love, like, honestly, I was at the game, like I said, 2 out of the 3. The 1 game I didn't go to, they got smoked. But the 2 games I went to, whether we are eliminated from postseason or not, those games were fun for me to be at. And I would much rather have that happening where we're not in the playoffs, we're out, but you're watching great baseball. These guys are starting to gel. Devers has barely been here. Adames first year, and he might hit 30 home runs. Like, are we still hating on Adames, guys? Like, what's the deal? Because this guy for sure is a leader and a huge spark plug with energy. And at the end of the day, if he ends up with 30 home runs, first person since Barry Bonds is a Giant, you got to tip your hat to him. Sure, he struck out and he had his first half problems. We saw that. But again, this is his first year in San Francisco. He's acclimating to being here. He's acclimating to a new team. He's acclimating to a new park, you know, all those things. I think Devers coming over was a huge help for Adames to help him not have to like carry all the weight. Chapman coming back and being hopefully close to 100%, except for he fouled that one off himself. But, you know, having these pieces so it's not just like the one guy that has to, you know, carry it. And even little Drew Gilbert is starting to hit the ball, and it's good to see. You know, I'm a McRae fan. We know that, but I'll tip my hat to Gilbert. I'll really tip my hat to the Heat is On award, which is Luis Matos. If you haven't been paying attention to Luis Matos in the last 10 games, dude's on fire. He's going 4 for 5, 3 for 4. I mean, he's doing it all, and he's been playing pretty solid defense, and they've been moving him right to left, so he's not in one position all the time. I love to see this stuff going on where it's like, okay, we're going to give Ramos a day off. We're going to give Jung-Hoo Lee a day off. You know, Gilbert's going to be out there. We're going to keep these guys fresh. The one thing I'm not liking, if I'm a Bob Melvin critic right now, is I just don't want to see Wilmer Flores starting at all. I just don't. I'd rather see Dom in there. I'd rather see Devers in there. I'd even rather see Christian Koss in there. I just don't want Wilmer. To me, is no part of our future. And I love the guy and I appreciate what he's done. But right now, I want to win, and I want Wilmer on the bench in the late innings. He's clutch. He's got the most. I ran into Glenn the other night, and he was talking my ear off about Wilmer. He's like, Wilmer Flores has the most walk-off hits in the history of New York Mets. So take that for whatever you will, but he's a clutch guy. And so you want that kind of guy with experience coming off the bench in the late innings to help us get the run. So those are my takes on everything that's been going on. By the way, Dom Smith, splash hit number 107. Psh, Rafael Devers, no splash hits. Schmitty, no Devers jersey. Still waiting, bro.
Yeah, he just hasn't put one there yet. I'm gonna risk throwing out a hot take here, but I honestly believe that the strong first half the Giants had is all about Adames, even though his play wasn't superb. That he was slumping at the plate. I mean, his defense was solid, but he wasn't as much of a factor, I think, on the field in his play as he was as just being the spark plug that drives this engine. I mean, just the energy that he brings, like you said, the presence there, and then all these moves that Buster has made, everything has pretty much been positive. He's won almost every single deal that he's done. He fleeced the Red Sox. He kind of fleeced the Mets. I mean, and fleeced the Yankees, so like everybody's like, oh, when things started going south and they had these horrible streaks or they lost all those games at home, everybody was like shitting on Buster, shitting on Adames, shitting on everybody, shitting on Devers. But the reality is, like, all of these deals that Buster made in his first year at that position have been winners. The Devers trade shocked the world. I mean, it really did. Nobody saw that coming. That was just like, what? I mean, the baseball media world exploded when that happened. And then all the whiny Red Sox fans were like, one half was like, oh, yeah, he was just a bitch and a prima donna and we're glad to be rid of him. And the other half was like, dude, I can't believe we let him go. Our ownership sucks and all that. Well, that half was right, because Devers is going to be a powerhouse in San Francisco for years, right? For years. He is the next closest thing to Barry Bonds this team has had since Barry Bonds. That's it. Nobody can dispute that. So I think that Adames, once he settles in and he's here, I mean, he's here for a long time. So you see, like, what happens. He's gotten comfortable. He's gotten relaxed. The defense is great still, and now he's hitting the hell out of the ball. So I do think, honestly, his first half performance, but definitely the vibe that he brought to the team, I think, helped elevate everybody else. He's the first guy out there when a home run gets hit. He's lifting the helmets off. He's cheering everybody on. He's running down the baseline when there's a walk. Like, the whole thing, man. How can you not love the guy? And I think he is going to hit 30. I mean, obviously Devers is going to go over 30, but it doesn't all count because it's not all SF. But I think Adames can do it. He's got a month. And he's sitting on 25. Right.
Yeah, and he should hit at least one in these 3 games in Colorado. I mean,
of course.
Devers just hit his 29th, so he's one off for the combine. But yeah, the Giants offense are looking real good right now. Might be the Giants offense is looking real good right now, but I'm not the grammar police, so do what you may. Look, the bats have arrived and the streak is finally here. We've been waiting for this all year. We said out of 162 games, the Giants and every team usually gets into a good run. Giants got in plenty of bad runs, and we were waiting and waiting. And right now, they came off a series win against the Cubs, then they swept the Brewers, then they came in and won 2 out of 3 from the Orioles, which they should. Hopefully they're going to sweep Colorado, and then they head to St. Louis, and those games in St. Louis are very meaningful. I got my friend John Jay down there wearing our gear. I don't know if you're paying attention out there, guys, but we got some skiers on baseball gear out in St. Louis on friend of the show, John Jay. If you're looking to help support, there's a link in our write-up below here, and you can buy a hat, beanie, T-shirt, whatever. But John Jay took care of things, and that helped us handle our whole budget for this month, which was amazing. So
sweet.
Props to him, but sorry about you. We got to come in and take care of business and beat the Cardinals, right? So,
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so things have been interesting, man. Like the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers had a crazy series, right? And
Yeah.
there's some strange stuff going on. The Padres are looking like the most potent team in the division right now, I think. I think the Dodgers, they're kind of spent, and now their pitching is just like, I mean, they had all the injuries and they had these guys, but they're just not pitching at the level that they need to be at. And their offense, like Mookie's been struggling, people have been struggling. Dave Roberts is crying in his oatmeal. It's I want to see him crash and burn so bad, and it could happen. We could see it. I think the Padres are they painted a target on the backs of the Dodgers, and they aren't going to go away at all. Xander Bogaerts out for the rest. It sounded like the rest of the year, but now it sounds like he might be back for.
Oh, really?
Postseason. Yeah, he's got like a small ankle fracture or something. But that's the thing that we don't really know is guys are always playing with some kind of pain, some kind of injury. I mean, play 162 games, you ain't coming out unscathed. You're gonna have stuff, and you get a micro fracture. It's like, yeah, it hurts, and they're gonna tape you up, and they're gonna shoot you up with something, and you're gonna play, man. It's your job. So, yeah, it's crazy. So I think the division is getting ready for a big shift, and I think the Dodgers, the sun is going down on the Dodgers.
Yes, I'm really happy with Mookie Betts, and I don't know if it's that food he ate in Japan at the beginning of the year, but he lost like 10 or 15 pounds, and something really weird happened, and he hasn't been the same. Like, I mean, he's not hitting like he always has this year. He's a different player, and that's a huge blow for that team, because as much media as you want to give to Ohtani, I always felt that Mookie was the guy. Like, he's the one that gets everything going. He's in the field playing all over the place. And yeah, Shohei, did you see the bookie got a little interview with about Ippei and Shohei, and he's going to prison, but he had some words to say. There's a cloud following that guy, and it's pretty dark.
Yeah, well, look, I commented on something that was posted on Instagram the other day about I think it was the post with that video, and I basically said, like, free Ippei, suspend Ohtani. And then I got all manner of these idiot Dodger fans going, "Oh, you think you're an expert on Ohtani?" And all this shit. Hey, fuckers, Occam's razor. All right, you ever heard of Occam's razor? Out of all the possible scenarios, the most likely and simplest one is always the correct one. It's not hard to connect the dots. I've been saying it from day one. If you, in this day and age, with everything on your phone and your bank account balances and all that shit, you didn't realize that $17.5 million went missing for how many months? You're full of shit, pal. I'm sorry. Shohei's a punk, dude. He's one of the worst things ever to happen to baseball. But Major League Baseball and everybody around it who's too ignorant of the facts, they think he's the best thing that ever happened to baseball. And then people are saying, "Oh, he's the greatest to ever play the game." Sorry, Barry Bonds is. You're not going to touch Barry Bonds. Go back to Japan, play for the Flying Tigers or the Swimming Fish or whatever. Get out. Nobody wants you here, man. You're a gambler. You're a punk. You do bad land deals in Hawaii. Have I ranted enough?
Yeah. Daniel actually has a pretty decent point. I don't know if it's 100% true, but was he gambling before he started to make all this money? Like, were these gambling things happening when he was, maybe not making all the endorsements yet and the huge salary from the Dodgers? And if so, that would just be more in tune with, like, you're going to understand when large chunks of money are missing from you. The whole thing that I'm a billionaire and I don't know when any, like, I don't buy that for a second. I don't believe that people aren't paying attention to, like, millions of dollars being missing. So,
yeah. Well, there's another piece of this puzzle too that nobody has really put together in all this, but I'm going to take a stab at it.
Ooh.
Why did the Angels ownership not trade Ohtani at the deadline? Okay, we know his arm was done for the year, right? But they still could have gotten a lot in trade. And what I think is that the Dodgers deal was a done deal before the trade deadline, that there was some kind of kickback from Ohtani's contract coming back to the Angels, right? On top of all this other shit, like, does that factor as like collusion in some way? I know I'm coming out of left field, but like, just, all this stuff stinks to high heaven. And so let's open the books on all of it, man.
I hope they do. I hope they do.
Yeah, it's just fuck the Dodgers. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, F the Warriors. I was at the game Friday night where they had the Pokemon drone show, and check this out. I've never seen the boba tea line so long in my life. It's like such a whatever cliche or whatever, but it was like all the little Pokemon fans were sipping their boba tea and playing their Nintendo Pokemon games on their phone, and they didn't care about the Giants game at all. Like, Pokemon is huge.
Thebo was just completely lost in Pokemon Go for years. You come around a corner in San Francisco, it's some dank alley, and there's Thebo squatting in the corner looking for the Pokemons, dude. I'm not kidding. He was all into that shit.
I'm not gonna lie. I took it over during the COVID on my walks when I was losing it, and it was fun. My brother's really into it and his kids and stuff. But yeah, I didn't understand how obsessive. Like, I mean, people are there. It's a huge thing for a lot of people.
Well, since I'm a gaming Luddite, explain it to me. Is it just like a scavenger hunt looking for these characters? Like, what is it?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, basically, it's what do they call it? GPS, and you're in real time walking around your neighborhood and wherever you go, and there's little things, and then you fight little guys, and you're collecting all the. So Pokemon is like human, right? And in the Pokemon world, there's all these different Pokemon, all these different species, and you're trying to collect all the different ones. And they all have different like powers. Some are awesome fighters. Some are like stronger and can take more. Some have cool like weaponry, whatever. But mostly I think it's just like, oh, I got the cute little Pikachu, and now I got Gnar the dog, whatever. But it's kind of cool when they do something like what they did Friday night, which is you can get stop only in the ballpark. So you have to be in the game to get there. And when you do it, the back of your screen becomes the inside of the ballpark, basically. It's like the field and everything. And then your character can get a San Francisco Giants hat. So you can customize how you look, and you can put the Giants hat on your guy and whatnot. So having those kind of little options, I think, is what makes it cool. Like, maybe you're at Disneyland and you get like Mickey Mouse ears or something. Like, every area has like specifics for that zone. But it's pretty overwhelming, man. There's so much. It's like, it ain't like what I just explained. Pokemon genius is going to come in and go, that ain't right, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's going to tear me apart. But like, that's as much as I know. There's tons more to it, and I might not even got exactly right what I said, but it's more or less, I think, like that.
Yeah. I don't get gaming really. I mean, I worked for an entertainment technology company in Westwood for about 4 years, and we were doing these sort of like chat bot heads that sit on your desktop when you're playing games, and they would like talk. They'd speak the player chat in the games, and so played a lot of Quake 3 and Unreal Tournament when I was working there. And that's about the most gaming I think I've ever gotten into. It was fun. it was fun. I got all the cheat codes and the God mode codes, and then I went in and just slaughtered all my coworkers all day. Then I realized like cheating sucked, and I just got good at it and didn't cheat. But yeah. Well, Wu-Tang is trying to hold it down here in this game.
What inning? Fourth, no runs in 4 innings. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad for him.
Good. So did you hear this thing? I wanted to play this. Let's take a listen to this, and I want to hear your comments on it.
0-2 pitch. Down and in with a slider. 1-2.
I saw McCovey Cove Dave at the Vogue Theater this past Monday night for the premiere of the movie about Marty Lurie, Baseball Mensch. And he said that he relies on the radio in his kayak.
Here's a ball low. 2-2.
And he's dug out more of those actual splash hits than anybody over the years.
He was mean to Elliot Ramos last year. He's kind of on my list. He wouldn't give Elliot his home run ball, the splash hit ball. Here's a check swing foul off to the left, out of play.
Why not?
I don't know. I thought that was kind of against the spirit of the whole thing, personally.
Yeah, so Dave Fleming firing some shots. I think that was either yesterday or the day before his game. This is still lingering, and I not only want to get to the bottom of Bunker Gate, but now I want to get to the bottom of McCovey Dave Gate. McCovey Cove Gate, or whatever you want to call it, Splash Gate. What are we going to call it, Senior? You help me out here. But look, he should have gave him the ball just for blowing the PR right after he got the ball and saying that Elliot didn't deserve it yet, that Elliot wasn't a giant enough, or whatever he said. It was like eye-opening, horrid. And
it was bad. He basically said, like, I don't even know who this guy is. And so
and he doesn't follow me on Instagram was also included in there, which
just who cares, pal?
Like insane.
I don't know. That whole thing came across, and this may not be him at all, but it came across like, I'm bigger than the game. I'm bigger than the giant. Look at me. And the reality is, the thing that physicists and scientists and baseball people, everybody said it would never happen. Not possible. Graphs and pie charts and Venn diagrams and all this shit these people came up with and said, no right-handed batter will ever hit a splash hit. So it happens. That ball should be in the Hall of Fame. Okay? And if not in the Hall of Fame, certainly either in the Giants organization or Elliott should have the ball. Dave can suck it. I mean, the way that he came off after that was just lame, right? You know, he wanted all kinds of season tickets, this and jerseys, that, and all this stuff. Look at our friend Mark. Mark gets the 100th splash hit, and he's up there getting a couple of bats and the signed ball from Lamont.
Same day.
Like,
didn't even have to think
about it. Yeah, the look on his face, he was like a 5-year-old kid. He's in there with Lamont. That photo's still on my phone. It's like one of the best things ever, right? So just,
my friends, I got it. Please stop.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's different people carry it differently, and Mark carries it right. Dave, not so much, in my opinion. You know, he may be a totally nice guy too, but it's just, dude, you played your hand really poorly. Really poorly.
I think we're gonna have to get Forever Giants media down to the Cove next homestand and maybe try to get some questions answered from old McCovey Cove Dave, because this has been going on way too long. This is over a year, and I can't understand if he really thinks he's holding out for a parking space and access to the Cove in an area that nobody else gets. Like, this is like some prima donna shit, man. Like, ask for a bat, ask for a signature, ask for, a jersey, whatever you want. If you're a Giants fan, that's what you'd ask for. I'm sure they're happy to do whatever, give you some games, something like that. But this, like, I need my Cadillac and I need my own way to get, to the Bat Cave. Like, no, that's not going to fly. And they already said no. So what, you're going to penalize Elliot Ramos because your rafting adventure hasn't become exactly as easy as you were hoping it to be? Look, you throw the goddamn kayak into the bay, you jump in it, and you paddle around. That's easy. Come on, I've done it. We've all done it. So tip of the hat, you've got more balls out there than anybody. And now show that you got more balls than anybody and give Elliot back his ball. Okay?
Yeah, ain't happening. But you know what I would like to see?
Elliot was an all-star. He hasn't shown enough yet. Yeah. What? Come on.
Yeah, he might be nobody to you, but he's not nobody to the Giants fan base, and he's certainly not nobody to the game of baseball. I mean, Elliot Ramos, give or take this season, but last season, everybody in baseball knows his name. Everybody in baseball knows who he is, except McCovey Cove Dave. You know what I'd like to see? I'd love to see Nego Ned go out there and bark at him from the walkway for about 20 minutes. Hey, Dave, when are you going to give up the ball, Dave? You punk.
Nego Ned is banned from the show until we can't even put any negativity into the show while they're winning. Giants, they're on fire. So, but yeah, that's a good idea. Let's get Ned out there. Coleman Sports, we took care of the Cubs, man. I'm tip my hat for you showing your face around here after that whipping we gave your team. We're going to need your help down the line, though. Take care of the Reds for us. And if you play the Mets, take care of them, too. We're going to the postseason, and we'll see you in the wild card.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wow, Wu-Ting's dodging bullets, man.
Wu-Tang's doing. Wu-Tang's doing.
Managed to get through it. Coleman.
Yes,
but 2016 still stings, dude.
Yes, sir. Hey, the Chicago Cubs are the reason that we got Mark Melancon. So we blame the Cubs for that horrible acquisition and those horrible years we dealt with that crazy closer. You guys play the Mets. Take care of biz, dude. Let's keep Soto out of the postseason. We kept him out of the All-Star game. Let's keep him out of the postseason and just say, hey, keep spending your money, New York teams. It ain't going to work for you.
Yeah, that should be the goal of every team, is to keep Soto out of the postseason.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, he just ain't,
He ain't it.
And there were the handful of people that thought the Giants should really go all in on Soto, and we weren't part of that cadre of people. So I'm happy with Devers. I'll take Devers over Soto all day.
I'm happy with Devers too. Look at that.
Whoops. No, bring it.
Hey, I second the motion. How about that, huh?
There we go.
Bada bing. Well, shoot, I guess that's pretty much all we got. We got to finish this game with the lead. We're at 5. So, man, Kaiway can get a W if they hold on to the lead, huh? And
if he pitches one more inning.
Tomorrow we got Webb on the mound, which is good. It's going to be fun. Let's stay tuned because it might get even closer and wilder as the days go by.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Another hit by pitch.
Jesus.
Imagine that. Bailey got plunked his first time up. Now Schmidt gets hit. Dude, the Giants have just been taking their lumps this year at the plate. I don't know. I mean, and like the way they've played, why would you hit them? If they were like a 100 win team already, yeah, you might be throwing at them, but like they're sub 500 right now. Why are you plunking guys?
What kind of BS is this?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But maybe that's kind of putting some gas on their fire. They're getting thrown at a lot. It's like, we ain't going down like that.
Hells no. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty confident. I think we're gonna get a sweep here, and we're gonna go into St. Louis. Hopefully, my goal is to go to St. Louis at least one game closer to the wild card, which would be at least 4 games back. Let's stay 5 today because the other teams won, but either tomorrow or the next day, let's gain some ground, or both days. If we get this thing down to 3-2-1, whoo, it is going to be fun, and we're going to do some gloating. We're not usually the I told you so kind of guys, but we've been talking about this team and its resilience, and that it's better than they've been playing, and the season ain't over, all that. So stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride.
It's going to be big fun. Did you see what happened to Contreras? He made some bad decisions the other day for the Cardinals. I think he got fined and maybe suspended 6 games or something. He went off on an umpire and started. It was pretty crazy. So,
yeah. And then you saw the Angels outfielder take on the steel pole with his face in Houston, right?
That was Taylor Ward, right?
Taylor Ward, yeah.
Man, damn,
like
that looked rough.
Might have busted his eyebrow bone there a little bit.
Yeah.
So I hope his eye's okay.
Yes.
But that was weird. He ran full speed, and that's a steel pole, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no padding on that pole. And then he kind of was like, it's amazing he didn't knock him out. But he didn't get knocked out, and then he was kind of like pointing at his face, and then they ran out with the towel, and he got worked over. But dude, that's baseball, man. Guys sell out to try to make a catch, and sometimes it gets ugly. Look at Jung-Hoo Lee, people get work. And it's like when Gavin Lux drilled himself into the outfield wall in LA, nobody really cried, but you don't like to see it happen to other people. So yeah. Well, dude, let's get this one, man. The Giants are up 3-0, and just keep plugging, keep hitting, keep scoring.
Yes, indeed. We'll be back after this series. Another recap. Like I said, if you want to head over and buy a hat or something, a shirt, help us out. The link is in the description below. We're trying to do at least one show every series. And so tell some people and let's get the chat growing. All are welcome, of course. Dodger fans, Cardinal fans, Cubs fans, and of course the Giants fans. Anybody, bring it in. Share your opinions, and we'll talk about it. Share what you want to talk about. We'll talk about whatever. We love baseball, so let's keep it rolling. And watch the Giants, man. Watch out. If I'm a team in the National League, I don't want these guys coming to my ballpark because they got something to prove. They got a little chip on their shoulder. It's evident. You see Adames out there just sitting there with the Gatorade bottle looking at Drew Gilbert yesterday going, just tell me when you're ready because you're getting it.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And he's going to get a little bit of it today probably too. So
yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for stopping by and give us a little like button tap. And we'll be back on Sunday. I'll be a year older. Ouch.
The big 6-0. So if you got anything that has 60 in it, bring it to the conversation. We'd be down to see, you got 60 tricks on a skateboard. I doubt it, but if you do, bring it on.
I don't know. I don't think I even have 6 anymore, but whatever. I'm still above ground. I'll take it.
60 slappies in 60 days. There you go.
I'll go do 60 laps at the pump track, and maybe you'll never hear from me again.
Oh my goodness. Well,
right on. Let's
here
get out of here.
We are out, and thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys later.
It's time to go.
Let's go, San Francisco. Let's go, Giants.
Dude, that was one of the most mind-blowing shows I've seen to this day.
Do not drop that kid.
We're in the memory-making business. San Francisco is the Giants are San Francisco.
The Giants are world champions.
See you soon. Thank you.
And I am forever a Giant.